Hello everyone. In this lecture we will discuss about application of sensors in automobile engine control and some real-time application of sensors. So our focus will be sensors for automobile, and in that automobile also we will focus on engine control. Today a car or a vehicle, or in generalized form you can say an automobile, is more of an electronics. It comprises of 60% of the electronics part and 40% of the mechanical part. There are thousands of sensors installed at different locations in an automobile. For example, when you open a door of a car, it shows an indication on the dashboard. When you start a car, it shows an indication of petrol, speed, seat belt, etc. So other than these sensors, what you can see on the dashboard, there are several more sensors which are installed in and around engine, and that gives the value to a ECU, that is a processing unit of that automobile. Those values are not accessible for a general user, but these are used for maintenance purposes. ECU is the processing unit for automobile. Okay, so even this ECU works on CAN protocol, which is very difficult to access for a general user. So we will see some sensors in automobile. Let us take a definition of a sensor: the devices that changes some parameters, chemical parameters in themselves based on the change in the physical environment, such as temperature, pressure, position, etc. So in an automobile, an ECU can be a 32 or 64-bit embedded program microprocessor which takes all the values and which runs an algorithm predefined in it. It constantly compares the varying input data, and according to the instruction is stored in the memory, it calculates the output and the pulse signal offer, getting information from the different sensor. It is very fast and it is based on CAN protocol. I am saying again, that is very difficult to access by the general user. Some of the examples are sensors used in automobiles are crank sensor. This is crank sensor, the crank noise or the crankshaft movement in the engine. It senses its position and gives to the ECU. Then another is throttle control, the accelerator you are pressing to increase the speed. It gives the value for that throttle. We have temperature sensor, engine temperature monitoring, that is generally a thermocouple type, and that is designed for high temperature because engine will be very hot while running. Then it has ignition module. Ignition module will sense when to give the supply to the that spark plug, so that the fuel will be burned in an optimized manner. So that precise calculation will be done by ECU, and it will give the action to the spark plug that will take action according to the input given by the crank sensor. So general working of ECU, you can say it controls the fuel injection in a way that the maximum fuel can be burned. Maximum fuel is to be burned and maximum efficiency is taken out. It control ignition timing. As I have told you, again it focus on the maximum fuel burn So very precise timing is to be required, and then it gives the output to control the speed of that vehicle. ECU can also be connected with the fuel sensor, which gives the level of the fuel, and we have to mix air. So there is another sensor which senses how much amount of air is to be mixed with the fuel and given to the engine. Then fuel injector, how much the fuel injector to be opened and closed, and how much fuel will be taken in. So, and I will focus on this. This air has the pressure, how much air is required. So there is a sensor for that air pressure measurement also. So there is a very complex circuitry for this. Let's not go into the circuitry part. We can see the block diagram of an ignition sensor, like ECU is in the middle, and then these sensors are connected from the ECU and giving the value to the ECU like this. Other than this, we have wheel speed sensors, we have brake, we have indication for hand brake, we can give into ECU, and that is given to the dashboard. So ECU gives some signals to the dashboard for an indication, and ECU gives some signals to the actuators. Actuators, you can say, can switches on and off the supply. It can be ignition or the spark plug, and so on. The sensors of door open and close, lights on and off, these are all the indication given to the ECU, and that is given on the dashboard. So there is some more application, or you can say important functions of ECU. One is anti-lock braking system, which we called as ABS. ABS braking system. It has electronically damping control, so that whenever there is a rough drive, the vehicle does not bump much and minimum damping is there. Then we have power steering function. With the minimum amount of effort, the steering moves. And then we have traction control system. So these are another functions of the ECU. The speed of this ECU must be so fast such that within a microsecond the action should be taken, otherwise it may lead to the situation of life and death of the driver. In case of accidents, if the impact sensor does not give output at the time, then airbag will not open up, and that may cause to the death of the driver and the co-passenger. So I hope this will clear the importance of sensors for an automobile engine control.